do it?
I did it.
Okay, good.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, season 2.
Season two. I sat on the wrong side of the table and Janie just got mad at me.
No, that doesn't work.
We're
Doesn't
such
work.
creatures of habit. We have to like walk down the street.
Correct.
You have to be on the left
Yep.
and I have to be on the right. And if it's not like that, then the whole like the sidewalk feels sideways.
World is off balance.
Yes. Yeah. But we're back here. Feels good. Doing podcasts again.
No, we paused for a while. We got busy. How was your semester?
Oh my gosh, it was great. And it was so busy and it felt like a sprint, more than usual because I was consulting on a project for the Center for the Creator Economy.
Oh, tell us a little bit about the creator economy. That's lots of new stuff since the last time we podcasted.
I've learned a lot about podcasting, that's for sure. And I've learned how to do Substacks, and I re-upped my own Substack a couple weeks ago or last week. It's called Media Trained. Get it? We're all media trained. I'm media trained, you're media trained, I have media trained people.
A play on words
I mean,
forever.
Just it makes my heart so happy when there's like a play on words or a really cool pun. But yeah, I've learned all about how students are making content, why they make content, why people in the world, in the industry, it's $1 trillion industry that people are just...
It's trillions now. Wow.
Well, it's like the amount of advertising investment in creators is just so high. It's overwhelming. But then it's also like the industry's like catching up because people are just making TikToks and stuff. And then all of a sudden they're like an overnight success. And then they're like, what do I do? So
Let's talk about social media a little bit, because like there's a lot of people who think like, oh, social media is these random people doing dumb stuff on Instagram or Facebook, or
Yeah.
it's just pretty pictures. But there's a lot more to it.
there's so much more. And I think that that's the thing. So everybody thinks like, oh, it's just an influencer, like it's some woman trying to sell you like a beauty product. And it definitely is that for sure. Like that happens. But I feel like it's so nuanced and detailed, and it's driven by data and analytics now and audience
So much
share.
data.
Like how do you own your audience? And then a lot of the creators, even when there's something negative, you and I were talking about this the other night, the new campaign is the flip campaign, where you kind of like say something somewhat like a hot take, and you anticipate that you're going to get a negative comment or 2 or 3 or 10.
Right.
And then you take the negative comment and you make another video with the negative comment in it, and you like clap back at the negative comment. And then that video does really well because the algorithm rewards conflict. And then it's just like goes around and around and around. And that's why you see kind of everybody sort of arguing on TikTok a lot.
But does that mean we'll never go viral? Because obviously no one would ever say anything bad about our podcast or Instagram.
I mean, people,
Social media.
it would be really, surprising, I guess, like
I mean,
two lesbian moms, people might get mad at Rosie the Riveter. I mean, it is a little white feminism, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm like wearing it ironically.
and all the feminism.
Yeah, I just like, it's the first time white women at least were allowed to go out into the workplace and make like bombs and stuff. So like, that's cool. But then they were put right back into the home. So, just anytime a feminist tangent can come up, I'm ready. But yeah, I just think like, what do you think? You've been a content creator for a while, like you've done
For a
the
little bit,
YouTube
just for
thing,
fun.
and yeah, but like it's changed since you were even doing it.
Yes, and it's a lot of work. I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this much, because it becomes like a full-on business on its own. And I was glad I tried it. I created video. I learned a lot. Just practiced editing video. What works, what doesn't, and that's good for me, just my own curiosity. But it's a lot.
That word curiosity, I think, is a really good word because it drives like actually wanting to do something over and over again. And I think that that's a lot of what, like with AI and like kind of learning right now, we talk about like how can you kind of like stay curious with something, because you and I were even talking about how our attention spans have been affected.
I think they have.
Like the short-term video is getting to all of us, like at 30 seconds or less, it's just hard. It's hard to play. Like the example is like we were trying to play imagination games with Evelyn today.
It lasted like 5 minutes.
It was so
2
hard.
minutes
Like we're
maybe.
trying to play like little Legos and oh my God, we're going to like the car wash with the Legos. And I'm just like, oh my God, when is this going to be over? It's so sad.
So sad.
But I'm like, Evelyn, you do it. Like,
I'd be curious, like, is there research out there for those who have like, I'm not doing social media anymore. I'm going to not look at it anymore. Like, are those people's attention spans longer?
I mean, probably. Like, and you know, by the way, I guarantee you, there's 100 studies. To
But
that
like,
effect.
how can you even really engage that? Because then you have all these other factors, from like neurodivergence to like perimenopause.
That's
to
true.
like
That's
blah.
true. Yeah.
No study is accurate.
Well, no study is objective. I agree with that. But like, I wonder, because they put the nodes on people's, you know, brains and try to like measure your brain activity and stuff like that. And I think that that's the closest you can get. But I feel it. I feel that I can jump, like my ADHD is in full effect all the time, where I can jump to like 7 different projects at any given time. And yesterday I was in like full completion mode, where I could like do all the projects and get them kind of done or done-ish. But then there's other days where I have nothing, and it's hard.
The other thing to think about, though, like as we watch more media, like New York Times and Wall Street Journal, their whole app is like lots and lots of video now.
Yeah.
So does that, and you know, it's not like half an hour shows or anything. It's like a minute, maybe 30 seconds.
No, it's
So
the
how
vertical.
does that play into that? Because all those people who are like, I'm not going to do social media, now it's like in front and center. It's all over LinkedIn.
Like you're doing social media whether you kind of want to or not. Like, do you remember back in the day? It reminds me of New York One and Pat Kiernan.
Oh, I love him.
Do you remember? So back in the early 2000s, when we were living in New York City,
I love New York One. It was my favorite.
there's this, and New York One is still there. It's still on the air, and it's like a local cable network in New York City, and they do like only New York City news, like only what's going on there. And Pat Kiernan was the morning anchor, though, when you were getting ready to go to work, and he would read the newspapers to you.
Best.
It was the greatest segment ever. What was it like called? Like In the Papers?
In the Papers.
And he would fully pull out like a printed newspaper.
Show us this photo.
And it was like New York Post headlines, which were always like incendiary, like just so sensational. And he would read them, and he was so like nonplussed. Like he wouldn't give you a lot to work with. He wouldn't say what his opinion was or anything. But like, was Pat Kiernan like the first creator in a way? Like, because he was like, now there's a million people that will read the news to you, like, and interpret it and analyze it for you. And that's basically most of what happens on like Substack and podcasting.
Yeah, well, especially with all those reporters now, it's like.
And then so then traditional legacy media, or classic media, as it was said to me the other day, and I was like, oh, that sounds nicer, because the other ones just sound old. And because if I'm New York Times, I do not want to be called legacy. I'm like, dude, I'm out here trying to do vertical videos.
I'm like, I'm not even 50 yet. I am not legacy.
But I know nobody wants to be legacy. But so all the classic media is doing the sort of like content creation, like tricks almost, like the techniques that work for audience engagement, for people to actually watch your stuff. So it's interesting to see the creators kind of like mesh over there. And then I wonder how much of like the journalistic stuff is coming over into the creator space, because I definitely have seen some creators say like, oh, I want to have like journalistic integrity, I want to fact check, want to make sure I'm right. And I'm like, that's cool. But also you get to say whatever you want as a creator.
I know, it's kind of scary.
Yeah. And it's also scary and exciting, because I follow a couple of the news creators now, and I'm like, wow, this is way more entertaining. Like, I am entertained. So maybe I'm going down that slippery 30 seconds or less slope, like big time.
It would be interesting if it starts to change to long form, because they did extend it to a minute, right? Or actually, I think it's unlimited now, because stories used to be like a specific amount of time, and now it's like the whole reel.
You know, that's true, because Taylor and I edited that reel, and it was 3.5 minutes long the other day of him playing soccer.
Oh God, he's adorable.
And he learned how to edit, sort of, because I kind of did all of the work for him. But I had him press delete when the clips needed to be deleted. At the very least, got him in that. But I was surprised, because the original clip was like 6 minutes long, and we got it down to like 3.5, and then Instagram still let us put it up on Reels.
It's harder to condense it to 15 seconds than it is to just leave it at 6 minutes.
Yeah, really. Well, you have to I just was reminded how editing is just a series of like really tough choices, and also it's so tedious.
It's so tedious, and it has to be quick.
Yeah, fast.
Like, unless there's different like video techniques, but most of it is pretty fast.
Yeah, and there's so much, like, I'm sure you can get an AI to like cut a video together for you, but there's so much that is human judgment in there, that it's like, what are humans going to respond to? How quick are the cuts? Like, are you jump cutting into like a scene and action, which are actual like old film techniques that are now kind of moving over. So I have this like theory. Let me just give you my theory and then you can respond.
If I remember.
If you remember, hold on to it, Jenny. My theory is that all the old structures are just getting kind of like sucked into the creator economy, and the creator economy is taking the ones that it likes and discarding the rest, and sort of like burning down all the old institutions in the process, which is very traumatizing for those of us who grew up with them and like really believe in journalism and things like that. And parts of it are going to come in, and then it's going to get kind of like almost like pushed back out in this totally new and different structure. That the Gen Z and below will understand and like, and the rest of us are going to be like, oh my God, what is this? That's my theory. Do you remember what you were going to say?
No.
No!
Wait, I did for a second, then I lost it, and then like my mind definitely trailed while you were talking.
I saw your eyes going like in a couple other directions. You were going like squirrel over there.
I started thinking about CNY Pride.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm doing right now.
You so fully just started thinking about your projects and your to-do list. Oh my God. You guys, you saw it here first. This is what happens when your wife goes like, you tell your theory, Carrie. Other people will listen to it.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll clip it. It'll be great.
I can't wait to see your human judgment editing on this one.
Oh, I remember what I was.
Look at that came back.
Look at that. TikTok. TikTok's editing is probably the best by all of them so far. Instagram's getting better, but you can just like plug all the videos in, and it'll edit. It'll do a great first edit, and then you still have to go in and kind of tweak it, but it's better than having to just like edit every single one.
Yeah. I can see how people really get down with like the editing, where I was talking to a coworker about it and he was just like, becomes like meditative, where you really get in and you're just like, you can really like feel the piece come together. And like, that's the other thing about content creation, when people are like, oh, it's just TikTok and Instagram, like, it's not, it's so much work. It takes so much time to put together one video. Like, we work with the students and they do great edits, but then we do have to like refine it with them. Right. And by we, I mean my coworker, because I'm not necessarily like an editing expert. I know what feels right and like what doesn't, but it's just so much more work and time. And really like what I like about working with them is that it's creativity, that they have to have a vision of what they want it to look like. They have to go shoot it, then they edit it, and then they refine it. And then God forbid you make like graphics or something on top of it and think of a cool caption. Although the captioning now is just like, how short can you possibly make it? Like, be cool. And I don't like that as a writer. I'm like, where's the big Instagram paragraph captions of old? I would like to see those come back.
But then that's why the genius of like podcasts is great, right? So like you have automatic kind of free-flowing content that comes out of it.
That's true. Yes. Like this podcast.
Like this one. And like, Amy Poehler and like all Bowen Yang, your favorite.
Oh my God, my favorite. I just, I have to get up on gay culture and pop culture at the same time, and that's what Las Culturistas does.
Are you excited for the awards?
I cannot wait. I've been watching all the announcements. I don't know offhand. That's bad.
I'm surprised.
I know. Normally I would be like June 7th or whatever, but I don't remember. But they have been announcing the award categories and the nominees, and they're just very funny. Like, they're just very like irreverent and making fun of award shows / being one at the same time. So it's good. That's what they do so well. But I was talking to this very talented researcher yesterday in Switzerland,
cool.
Which I just thought was I'm telling everyone who will listen, obviously, that I talked to someone in Switzerland yesterday. It was so late.
What time is it over there?
It was like 8 p.m. her time. Wow. And I was just like, you did not have to do this. And she was like, no, she just understands how the time difference works. And if you don't do it, then you're never going to do it. And so we were talking about the creator economy and her research in it. And there's this like triangle of success that like a lot of people are kind of following right now, where it's just the business model is podcast, to your point, to have like the long form, like the stuff. but some people, there's this podcast called TBPN that's like really popular, and they just do like investment updates. Like they do like the stock market and they follow business.
Why am I not following it?
Actually, you would really like it. It's very tech bro. I will warn you.
Yeah, I can't.
It looks a little like if ESPN and like financial news had a baby, like, and it's like a very aggressive baby.
No, that's not for me.
Like the graphics are all like green and black and like swoopy, you know, and like they make graphics that I find very cool and funny, where it looks like a baseball card, but it's like a CEO and it's like their stats, you know? So everybody's got their own style, that's fine. But they were just bought by OpenAI, which is how I became aware of them. But they do this thing where they take the show notes for the podcast and they make it into a newsletter.
Wow.
And I'm like, see, that's very smart. So you do your podcast.
But do they write it themselves, or do they throw it into AI and it makes it for you?
I will tell you, they 100% write it themselves, or they've trained their AI to write in like Bro, because it's very like these two guys have like this really particular voice, and it's very clipped and short, and like when men talk about sports, it's kind of that vibe, but for financial news. And they break news, like they have like CEO, like they had the eBay guy on when he was trying to buy, the GameStop guy when he was trying to buy eBay. And then they like rejected him like so hardcore. And
it's because he was saying terrible things in the media.
Well, yeah, and
that PR person did not do a good job.
He really didn't have financing, it seemed, too. And they kind of like, it was interesting on the podcast I was listening to, it kind of became apparent like on that show. But in any case, I think they write it themselves, because it does have like a real voice to it.
I like want to email them like, hey, do you write your own newsletter?
I mean, you know, I'm sure you'd get a great reaction from that email. It would probably be like a negative comment that they would use in a video. Of course we write our own, yeah. But then you do those two things, and then you have like basically like your social media like content, and then your brand extensions like over here. And she was saying like
terminology.
You try to get out of like the content hamster wheel, like by doing the brand extensions. And then she said that people really only have about like 3-ish years to like throw up a business around their content and like make like a Mr. Beast type play even happen, like where you're doing like the content and then you have like Feastables and all that stuff. And I was like, that is not a long time to build a business. Yeah, so you can almost see why this business moves so fast, because you just don't have a lot of time to be successful in it. So, Are you tired of talking about the creator economy?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. I can see the curtains closing. That's good. Okay, what else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What are you doing today?
I am going to plan out my writing class.
Oh, let's talk about books.
Because I do have a new book coming out. It's called the PR Writing Workshop. It launches on June 11th.
Wow.
I keep saying launches. It debuts. It is available June 11th, because launches feels like shows to me, and that's like old Food Network talking. But so this book, no one cares. No one cares except for me. It's fine. I love words. So the book is an attempt to provide a textbook where you can, as like a professor, you can plan out like at least 11 weeks. It goes to 15 if you need, but like really like 11 weeks of like strong writing content where the students believe in themselves as writers first. Ideally, the first 2 weeks are like, you're a writer, believe in yourself. Like you can do this on your own with your own brain. And then the second week is like, you are creative. Like, let's do some creative exercises to like, let you know kind of who you are, explore who you are as a writer. So they make lists of like media that they like. It can be like video games, it can be writing, it can be movies or TV, but just to have a perspective on something. And then at the end, they make a mood board, because everyone loves a mood board. You taught my class at the end of that week this past semester, and the students love it. Because if you can do like a visual representation of who you are as a writer, my thought is that you can then like sort of see yourself as a writer. And I feel like that's really important for this generation to know they can do it, practice like looking at who they really are. Because also too, like a lot of the students are just coming out of high school, like they don't know, and that's totally okay. But just to sort of say like, this is what I like, and this is where I'm coming from. And if I'm going to write PR writing for someone else, I kind of need to know who I am in that process first, ideally. Because then I can bring in all my cool, like if I like sports, I'm bringing in like NFL references. If I like Star Wars, like I'm writing Star Wars headlines for my press releases. That's the word that was escaping me. So in any case, like then it goes on from there and it goes into like keywords and key messages, press releases, pitching, and so on, like all the kind of like traditional techniques. But as I was describing to another professor, I was like, at the risk of offending a lot of people who I know are really, really into this, I do not spend a lot of time on AP style. You can come for me.
Dun, dun, dun.
Come for me in the comments, because I know it's controversial. I know that PR is intended to write for journalists who want AP style, but I feel the reality is, at least it has been over my 20-year career, is that we don't do it, and we're not doing it. And I feel like it's not the hill that we need to die on anymore. And the hill that I need to die on is, can you actually use your human brain to write, please? Like at least a little bit. And then we can layer in the AI, because AI is all through this book.
Yeah.
People know that everyone in business is using AI to write. So if I can get the students to just be this much creative first and then layer in AI, the AP style is going to come with the AI. You can tell AI to do it. So I feel like we go over the basics of AP style. I give them like a 10-point AP style guide, and then we kind of call it a day, because I just think that's my more realistic approach to teaching this. So,
well, I feel like just in general, we're teaching them how to be creative.
Yes.
Period. It's not like, even with my class, like the first class is like I don't have them introduce themselves, because they're doing it in like every other class. Like, hi, my name is, and I major in, I'm like, okay, great.
You don't want to know their hometown, Danny?
It's so awkward and weird. So instead,
I love that part, just for the record.
Okay. But you bring a different energy. I'm weird. So I just have them create a mood board. Tell me about yourself visually, because it is graphic design. So tell me who you are, what you major in, where you're from, and like your interests. And it's like such a great icebreaker for them to get to know each other too, because a lot of them are like, I think I had a freshman last year, but freshmen and sophomores and a couple juniors, they get to know each other, because otherwise they don't know each other. And so I forgot where I was going with this.
No, but it's like, I think that the visual is really important.
Creativity.
And creativity.
So like teaching creativity, because there already is so much AI that, like, how do you make it not look like AI? The only way to do it is to have your own creativity and your own kind of spin on things, right? How you connect the dots, and how you connect to your audience.
Yeah. Yeah, like how do you individual, and I always joke with my students, like, with your big, beautiful, unique brain, how do you put the pieces together?
Yeah.
And that, I think that they don't think that matters at first. Like, I think that they kind of are just like, I don't know, like, let me copy the assignment and put it into ChatGPT and see what it gives me, and then I'll just edit it from there. And I'm like, I mean, you definitely can do that. Like, I have open AI policies in my classes, because I am not fighting that fight. Like, it's a losing battle.
If anything, I want them to even at least understand it and play with it, because that's the only way they're going to learn it.
Yeah.
So I think I spent like the first week, sometimes two, on just installing the applications. Teaching them Google Drive, teaching them OneDrive, teaching them Claude, installing Adobe.
But also too, like, there is no one else doing that, because you're getting sophomores, right, for the most part. And so if you really think about it, because like there's a lot of professors that are like, students don't know naming conventions, and they don't know how to save to a folder or a shared drive or whatever.
Students make fun of me about it.
But like, when would they ever have that experience? They're coming out of high school effectively. It's not like your freshman year of college when you're taking like Geology 101 or whatever. They're like, here's how you save to OneDrive. Sadly, that mission rests with you.
Oh my God.
And I just
Why me though? I don't think everyone else does it.
I don't think
just me.
I mean, I teach writing and campaigns, and I don't really care how they send me the documents. Like, I mean, if they had their name in the document, it would be helpful. Like, that's pretty much it.
We have so many files, and like
for you, they have to submit multiple files, like, per project, right? So it makes sense. Yeah. Also, if I really think about it, do you know who has taught me naming conventions and like how to organize folders the most? You and every designer I've ever worked with. Truly, if I think about it. Because you guys have to stay so organized. And us, like, writers over here, we're like, document number 1.
Nobody understands what document number 1 is.
Yeah, because it could be anything. But and also, by the way, I do not do that. Like, my students have seen my like very in-depth filing system. I think I take it to like extremes with my amount of files, amount of folders within folders for those files. And anybody I work with will tell you that I generate way too many documents.
No way. I always tell them, like, do as many versions as you want, but just make sure you number them. And don't call it version final, version final 1, version final 2.
My favorite is sometimes I write like final. Or like, this one's really final.
No, use this one.
Use this one. That's me. Or I'll put the date. Like that also is my other way of like remembering.
Yeah, sometimes that's the best one.
Yeah.
Even though the date comes from the last opened, but sometimes you
see, I would never. Like I would just not.
Yeah, no, you're right. You should add the date because this is what we do.
And this is why writers and designers should work together to complement each other.
And get married and have children.
Oh my God. And like run businesses together forever. Like how? And then go teach together because, you know.
Can we talk about how Evelyn has asked how you know when you found the person?
I know. That was really sweet. So
I'm like, also, not ready. She's like 7.
She's 7 going on 8. She's going to turn 8 in July.
Bye, booster.
She's going to lose the booster seat in the car, which is like, I think that, I don't know, at least for us, that's a really big step. Like when the kids, 2 kids with no car seats.
I don't know what that seat is going to look like though, because it's like imprinted with that booster seat for, I don't know, 8 years, 7 years.
It needs like an intense cleaning. Like it's just like the amount of snacks that have like spilled and been crushed under there.
I'm gonna have to put like a towel under there because you know she's fancy and she's
got her own blanket. She's got her own blanket over there, that seat already. But like I 8 for a girl is very different than 8 was for a boy.
So different.
Like a girl today, like I tell people that I work with, like 8 feels more like 15. Like it just feels advanced. And also Evelyn is obviously a genius, but she just has this like worldliness about her that feels like not commensurate with an 8-year-old.
Yeah, it's scary.
And she's asking us at night, so like the nighttime conversations as you're putting her to bed.
Nighttime conversations.
Intense. Like questions just about how the world works. And
what were you like in high school?
Oh my God.
I'm like, please, the next night I'm like, please don't ask me, please don't ask me.
Well, it's like, I'm happy to answer high school. It's when I get to college, I'm like, Evelyn,
She asked me to name all my ex-boyfriends.
Me too.
And my ex-girlfriends. I'm like, I didn't really date them, so.
She asked me like how many people I dated, and I was just like, I can't. I'm sorry. I went on a lot of dates, like, and I gave her the like, you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find.
Oh my God.
And she was like, what? So I was like, never mind. It's an old adage that doesn't make sense here.
Does not work. Does not compute.
And but yeah, she's got like, it's like confessional time,
wow.
Like where she talks about her crushes and who her friends have crushes on, and do they tell the crushes or not, and
how do you know?
And then how do you know? Like the how do you know question keeps coming up.
And you know what I said?
What?
They have to make you laugh once a day, if not more, and they have to treat you with kindness and respect.
That's really good. I said, like, you get this kind of like fluttery feeling in your chest.
You can't feel it, you just know.
And I did say the same thing that you said too, that I just knew when I was around Mama that I just wanted to be around her all the time. And like, the part that I omitted was like that I was already dating someone else and had to like basically break up with him in order for that to happen. But I didn't tell her that part of the story yet.
I know.
Although I think she would enjoy it. Like,
you know what I told her without like, with sparing her with all the crazy other ridiculous details of how we got together. I told her the first night we really spent together, we were talking until like 2 a.m.
We did. It's true, which is true.
We were talking
on the couch. Yeah.
On the couch, on the purple couch.
Yes. Very chaste. Very just talking.
Forever and ever.
I know, and the follow-up questions are where you get in trouble, you know, like I told her,
I was like, okay, time to go to bed.
Time to go to bed. Good night. I told her a story. I tried to make it like a very measured, like sanitized story of like going out in college, and this was a bad idea.
Sanitized.
Like me and my girlfriends, we used to just like to go dancing, right? Like that kind of thing. And like when I was on the tennis team, we used to like to go dancing, and we would go dancing at this bar. And then you're like, no, this is bad. And then she's like, wow. And I was like, she's like, how late would you go out dancing? And I'm just like, some nights it was till the sun came up. Like we would be like exiting.
I went that far. I did not.
like 3 or 4, you know, like when they finally like kick you out, you know, and she was just like, how would you have so much energy to be dancing that much? And like, and I then was just sort of like, I don't, do you just be honest and tell her that you were like drinking all night? Like, or do you leave that part out still? And I was like, we definitely had some alcohol back then. Like, it's just something that happens in college sometimes, like, but it's not that big of a deal. And she was just like, oh, so you were drunk. I was just like, oh my God.
Also, I'm like, how do you know what drunk means?
I know, that's
like,
what I
where
said.
did you hear that?
I was like, where'd you hear that? Because we don't drink. Like, we're not, and she's never around people who are
No.
drunk or anything. And she's like, YouTube. And I'm like, great.
Oh.
Awesome. I'm like, do I need to look at those YouTube families again? Those kidfluencers and see what they're doing?
Oh God, when we watched that documentary though, that was creepy.
Yeah, and there's a real dark
So
side to the
sad.
creator economy too, like that the kids are getting exploited by families and forced to do YouTube videos, and the crushing videos are just like not age appropriate.
It's not real. And
Is-
it's gross.
Well, and like whenever I watch like somebody's like, oh my God, they're like such a well-established YouTuber or whatever, and I watch some of the videos and I'm like, it's still not real. Like, it's still a show. Like, somebody is on a set and they're talking about something and it's planned. And so we definitely talk to the kids about that.
I love those kids, but they're not great actors.
Right? It's like, it reminds me of like the old like sitcom-y shows where it's like, hey dad, I'm
Saved by the Bell
Oh,
action.
yes. It's like Saved by the Bell part 2.
So good.
Hijinks ensue.
All right, I think I need to start working.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's been
You're
a
out
while.
already.
I mean, what time is it?
We
How
had
long have
like
we
2
been
little
talking?
segments.
We talked for a while.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It is 10:21. Okay.
What time did we start?
I don't
I
remember.
don't-
Listen, I am 47. I can't be bothered with remembering things like
Soon
time.
to be 48.
Soon, I know this year. We won't talk about what you're turning this year.
49.
Is that like officially pushing 50?
Almost. I will enjoy my last year of my 40s.
I think the 40s are the best. Like, I think
I know,
it's the
I'm
most.
excited to be 50. Like, I
Yeah.
think it'll be fun. I mean, it's like half a century. What?
If the 50s are anything like the 40s, we're good to go. Because the 40s were actually challenging at times because like COVID, changing your life, like etc. Perimenopause setting in and like realizing like, oh no, we need some help.
I don't know. You know, I just really enjoy every year I get to spend.
Oh, that's so nice. And you're still trying to wrap up, so I'll let you do that. All right.
All right. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.